Where is the Game Originals tag? Shallot recently got a platinum equipment and it's propelled him, in some people's eyes, into the top 10 conversation. It's been a very long time since Shallot has been named good. So that means they've made a step in the right direction. Although the Game Originals tag isn't on its feet yet, Shallot is the first step in the right direction. Actually making Game Originals units relevant is a very big step for the game, considering that these units are free. We're going to discuss all the pieces, but in the comment section below, let me know if you could pick one Game Originals unit of your choice to bring to Dragon Ball Legends, what unit would that be? Let's get into this. At the current moment, the Game Originals tag doesn't have a lot, but it does have a good foundation if they just manage to make certain things better than they are. But let's talk about the two biggest pieces that make the team what it is. So of course, we got to talk about the first premium unit, the Game Originals Goku and Bardock, who dropped in the 2023 Festival Part 2. This unit here looks great, and they were the first unit in the game to bring the mechanic Indestructible, which was actually poorly received at first. But after a while, people realized how valuable it could actually be when used correctly, alongside Saiyans just becoming a lot more popular of a team, which allowed Goku and Bardock to thrive a lot more along the likes of Ultra UI. Goku and Bardock also have two elements, so this is especially good for the Game Originals tag, as you'd be able to have two elements on one unit. So if you're running 3 units, that would at least be a minimum of 4 elements. They are a melee type unit, which is good because a lot of the Game Originals that exist, well, to be honest, the ones that are worthy of note, which is pretty much only 2 others, are also in that melee category. I guess I'll just also add this unit has an explosive green, so that makes it very easy for them to get combos started, being a rat, to be honest. But this unit here is definitely a good start for the team. They released 2 years ago, so they've been alive for quite a bit, but they got a platinum equipment which rejuvenated them a tiny bit, but I wouldn't say it was the best timing for it, because the Game Originals tag literally went nowhere. And even when they got their platinum equipment, it didn't really propel them into conversations of being best in the game or anything like that. They weren't used on any of the meta teams, and Saiyans just wasn't as popular at the time. So the timing of the platinum equipment was poor, but it doesn't change the fact that they can be used and be attributed to the Game Originals tag. Because they don't have much more, it's literally the best they can do, but this is a decent piece to start. We should also talk about Shallot, and depending on which transformation you want to use, he's gonna be valid. The sparking one, of course, if you're still using the hero one, you gotta catch up on the story mode because you're quite behind. But you could use pretty much every variation of Shallot except base and Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 2 is gonna give you the endurance factor, so if you want to play defensive and have the survivability, that could be very useful for you. If you want to go Super Saiyan 3, I believe he has the highest damage numbers in the game in terms of reaching peaks. Very good for the team straight damage, but that's about it. If you wanted to go Super Saiyan God, he's able to stack up and build up his damage. And then with Super Saiyan Blue, he's the best all-rounder. Good damage, good defenses, and no matter which Shallots you go, you're able to actually heal a lot because of the platinum equipment. For the first 5 times, he's basically just going to heal every single time that he gets hit, and then if his health goes below 50%, he will heal a bit twice. So his healing potential is extremely high. Also, he's super tanky, and obviously something I should have pointed out earlier, he's a light type, so he will never be type disadvantaged to any unit in the game, and that is a big plus. And the third and final unit I'm going to talk about is Giblet. Now Giblet is significantly weaker than Shallot and Goku and Bardock, but he still has some use, and he could actually surprise you with some burst damage. Red unit here, but he has the addition of being able to go dark type, which means he'll be type advantage over the whole color wheel. So if you're unfamiliar, the first element in the wheel is light, and nothing is advantage over it. You could only go neutral. Then after that is dark. Nothing is advantage over dark except the light type, so every other element can only go neutral. Then you have the full color wheel, so you have blue under green, green under purple, purple under yellow, and yellow under red, and then red under blue. But all those actual colors are a step below dark, which is a step below light. So the only person really easily overcoming Giblet would be Shallot, is what I would say if this unit was defensively great. Of course, he's a liability, but again, mainly for his burst damage, he could surprise the enemy. Pretty much everything else on the Game Originals tag is absolute fodder and not worth mentioning. But this is what we're dealing with, so I mentioned all the pieces. Now, to easily fix this team, I think 2 things would change the whole team overnight. The first thing I'm going to mention is another platinum equipment, and that should be for the likes of Giblet. The second thing I'm going to mention is a new unit release, preferably an Ultra. It doesn't have to be an Ultra, but Ultras are the highest caliber units in the game, and even though the unit will be game originals, because of other tags, I'm assuming it's going to be a Saiyan just based on Legends' typical antics. It will be used on other teams too, so everybody wins. But first, let's start with Giblet. I think if you give Giblet extra survivability, even if it's just endurance and buff cancellation, that will change him entirely. It will make him a unit to be worried about, considering he can be dark type, and I think they should make his dark type just slightly more accessible. So when his health goes below 50%, he's able to go dark type alongside his main ability. But I think this should also happen when he gets below 75. So there's at least 3 ways to go dark type. And then if they actually go ahead and add endurance, and they don't have to add the buff cancellation, but I think it would be nice for the team as whole, he should go permanently dark type if the endurance has been popped. This alone would transform the team entirely and make the team actually worth using. But I do understand because these units are free, they might not want to go overboard. But let's move on to the new game originals. I think the easiest one to drop would be Chalet, the fusion. I'm gonna say Chalet to separate it from Shallots because of my British accent. If they drop this unit, we get the Fusion Warrior hype in this anniversary, and it's going to be a game originals tag. Now me personally, I don't think they would make any unit available in the Dragon Ball Legends story summonable. It just doesn't make sense considering that you're able to play them in the story mode, so I think they would avoid that and make this fusion free to play. So even though I'm mentioning him as an Ultra, if he's a free to play Ultra, that would be as good as long as they don't shaft his kit. In the story mode, he did crazy damage, but his kit overall is actually extremely plain. So if they just brush up the kit a little bit and make it PvP ready, he will be a good contender for the team, and I think he should be able to access both light type and dark type. They should make him an element that's not red so that Giblet can be used on the battlefield. They should also avoid blue and green considering Goku and Bardock are already there. So this unit would be purple or yellow, but would have the ability to access the light type and the dark type. So let's say the first time he pops a green card, he's able to go light type for 30 time accounts. But the second time he does, he will go dark type, which is one below light type. It's a very simple way of implementing an element for him that is above the rest of the game. Maybe 30 time accounts is too much, but something small like that would make the difference. Or even on first switching, he could have the light type just for a little bit. There's so many ways to make him good, so I think they should just pick one of these ways. But if they're not going to go Chalet, what should they drop? Now everybody can have their picks here. There's no right or wrong answer. There's really no evidence, to be honest, assuming you're just gonna pick a game original that could drop whenever. But let's say they're going to drop one for the 7th anniversary. What character is it going to be? You're watching Zakashi right here, and I am a true believer of Fusion Warriors every single year. Vegito has showed up 6 years, but I don't necessarily think it has to be Vegito. I just think it has to be a Fusion Warrior. I can't imagine them switching it up on their 7th anniversary. It's not even about what I enjoy, even though I did just emphasize the fact that you're watching Zakashi, but the evidence I'm more leaning towards is the simple objective truth. They've gone 6 years in a row dropping a Vegito every single year, and that's not even including the festivals with their Fusion Warriors. There's no way they miss out on the 7th, and that's my main headlining reason. So with that, you can pick a Gogeta or you can pick a Vegito, and personally I think they should just drop one of them in Super Saiyan God. It's no different from any of the other ones that we've got. It's just a different hair color, to be honest, and they're gonna take the same source material or make new animations, which I would prefer, on this unit, and that would be fine. This unit here as an Ultra would buff the game originals tag and Fusion Warriors, but their Ultra ability would be Fusion Warriors just based on the Fusion Warrior continuation for the whole 7 years this way. I don't really care which one it is, Super Saiyan God game originals Gogeta or Vegito, you can decide yourself, but I can't imagine them doing a Goku and Vegeta game originals, because what would it be? They dropped the MUI SSBE, that would be a good tag unit, but I don't see anything else hitting a similar pinnacle to end out the anniversary, considering they've been doing this Goku and Vegeta theme. If I also ran that, them banding together for a Fusion Warrior just makes the most sense to me. But hopefully we do see some buffs in the future, because no way they buff Charlotte for no reason. That's going to be the end of the video, guys. You guys give me your thoughts on the game originals tag. I really feel like it deserves a lot more love, and I don't feel like they dropped Charlotte's buff for no reason. They dropped the Goku and Bardock plat earlier. All they have to do is make 1 or 2 good moves and the whole tag changes overnight. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.